Hi, my name's Dr. David Crichton. I'm a GP, retired GP in Bournemouth, and I'm on the autistic spectrum. I've got Aspergers, which has been a great benefit to me in life in that it's enabled me to achieve a lot. I've got loads of degrees. I've been very good in sport. I've swam the channel. I've done lots of cycling. I used to do 100-mile cycle races every week, and and I've helped set up a triathlon club, and I competed and was successful, getting top 3 places in triathlons up until my life collapsed in 2012 when I had advice from a financial advisor about my NHS pension, which I was about to draw, and he basically messed it up and got it completely wrong and lost me about £200,000. I then, in true Asperger's style, I suppose, I went to pieces, and I tried to pursue things through the official channels, but I found that the Ombudsman didn't cover it. In fact, there was no authority that covered the complaint at all, and I would have had to go to court over this. I started to go down that route and found that it was costing me over £100,000 to do this. And so the feeling was, well, I could afford to lose the money, and so I would let it go. But I was psychologically in pieces, and much as I tried to work, I was unable to work. And even though I was trying to cycle, I had a cycling accident with a head injury with some changes on the MRI scan, and I was unable to stand. And so I thought my life was in danger. And so I tried contacting the financial advisor. This is after 5 years, to talk to him. And this was after having discussed it with my doctor and also Samaritans, and they thought it would be helpful to have a discussion with him, or it may be helpful to have a discussion with him. I was quite polite in organising the appointment. I tried to arrange an appointment, requesting it first of all as a message. I got no reply, so I phoned the office. I told them I just had an accident and was seriously ill, and they put me through to the financial advisor. As soon as he heard who it was, he hung up. That was a 5-second phone call. I then sent a message to him to say I was sorry he'd hung up because I knew my life was in danger. So then I was feeling very dreadful, and I was looking at what to do to try and help my psychological state. I had been involved in psychological research, and I was involved with the research which has been used by Facebook about changing thinking and looking at thinking patterns by looking at what people write and how people verbalize things who are truly suicidal. And this is artificial intelligence, and it's been used by Facebook. Then subsequently the research was done in America and in Canada. It wasn't in the UK at all. And then I thought, well, the problem was they were identifying lots of people, but they didn't know what to do with those that they identified. So I thought a step further, and I was interested in scams, because I thought scams actually do convince you into something that you think is not right. There is research by Dr. James Pennebaker that shows that throwing away bad thoughts is something that can make you feel better. Writing things down on a piece of paper, throwing it away in a bin, and that's something which I thought might apply to suicidal thinking. So I set out trying to do this, and I found websites that looked as though there were obvious scams, but I was arrested for going on these. Police accused me of soliciting murder. It was clearly a fake website with fake information, and I think the police were wrong in they used fake information which they knew wasn't reliable to arrest me. The websites were all about raising money, and I think they were actually, if people put information on the website, then the website people would then blackmail people to get money from those who put anything on the website. In actual fact, I think they sold, or they got favour from the police force, the National Crime Authority, by passing on information about me and other people. And the website is continuing. It would be easy for the National Crime Authority to actually put some warning about the website, but they did nothing like this. They arrested me, and it came through that I was acquitted on that charge, because it was obviously a fake website, and I certainly was not soliciting murder. But I was convicted for implied suicide threat, so they said. And I'm the only person, I gather, who's ever been convicted for this. This has meant that I've had a fine, I've got a criminal record, which the whole thing's been all over the media. And what's not been over the media is the fact that, firstly, is after I was in court and the information came out in the newspapers, I found that extremely distressing. As an Aspergers person, justice is very, very important to me, and injustice is really terrible. And my business lost over £1 million in the 3 months after it was published, after that information was published in the newspapers. And then I was feeling very bad and going out cycling to try and help that with friends. And unfortunately, I was not cycling as safely as I might have done. My front wheel touched the back wheel of another bike in a peloton while we were going along at 20 miles an hour. I came off the bike and fell in front of a car that was travelling the other direction at 40 miles an hour. So that was a collision speed of 60 miles an hour, which meant that I was nearly killed. Those who attended at the time thought that I was not going to survive. I was unconscious for over 2 weeks. I've been left disabled. You can probably see that I've got the left eye is paralysed, and I've got ptosis on the left side. I can't see properly now. Most of my spine was broken. I was in hospital for 3 months. That happened just 3 days before I was due in court. So my court case was postponed until I was fit to come out of court. The trial was unbelievably unfair, in that the prosecution had 3 days to present a case against me, and they used lots of fake information, which they made out was conceivably real, and it was just unbelievable. And I had just half a day to defend myself, and I'd only just come out of hospital. The jury weren't told that I'd been nearly killed, and so they didn't know that. And I finished up being convicted for correctly predicting my near death, which seems injustice. So I'm going to appeal about that. I'm still very, very unwell. I'm looking for support. The media and newspapers have got this all wrong. They've very much taken the side of the police. The police, I think, did this because they saw that I was wealthy and that they were just starting a cybercrime unit, and they thought they could make a case out against me, and they could get £100,000 or £200,000 from me for their cybercrime unit. And so I think that was the motivation for doing it. They knew that I'd said right from the start I thought that the website was a scam. I'd never put anything in to say that I was ordering a hit, because there wasn't even anything on the website that says about it. There being hitmen orders. And in fact, I found out subsequently that the website was being reprogrammed exactly at the time when I was on the website. The police knew this, but they twisted around the information to make it sound like I might have seen something about the website being there to order hitmen, which I deny. I'd never seen that. The web page was white. The bit which they showed me, it was wrong. So I'm in a terrible situation. I'm trying to look for support in the media or someone who will tell my story. I'm very, very keen for justice, and I'm very, very keen to survive. And what I was doing was to try and help suicidal ideation. If there's any support or anyone who has got any media contacts, you can look at my case in the media. It's all very distorted from what's written, and it's unfair, and it has lots of factual inaccuracies. There was no regulating authority that said the financial advisor gave the correct information. In fact, every single financial person I contacted said that it was wrong what the financial advisor did. He did a very unsafe thing. It was very simple what he should have done, which is just to tell me to withdraw from the NHS pension scheme and to put in my application for protection of my pension rights, and then wait until he'd sorted it all out. But he didn't do that. He wanted to earn more money by doing another report, and so I paid him nearly £400 for a report that actually lost me nearly £300,000. And then the second report, when it came, was clearly erroneous, and he was due to charge me £700 for that report, but he didn't feel he could charge me that, and so I never paid anything for that, and my life just went to pieces from there. I'm looking for support from anyone who's interested in autism, Aspergers, justice, injustice, and the police who don't know how to handle us. I find the police complaint system is horrendous. It just goes round and round in circles. The IOPC is made up of virtually all police. They only investigate less than 1% of complaints. There's virtually no complaints that actually ever get resolved to the standard that the complainant expects. And I think the complaint system is really for the benefit of the police, and there is no one independent overseeing it. It's a terrible situation. The police phone call system is just sends you round and round in circles, and you wait for hours to speak to someone, and then they never answer your questions if you have a serious concern. And they can do something called disapplying a complaint, which is the way that they avoid answering things when they know they've done something seriously wrong. But personally, I blame the financial advisor and the police for the fact that I've been nearly killed, left disabled, and my business has lost over £1 million, and the whole thing has just been terrible what they've all done. I would look for some support about this, and don't know if anyone can support me. I've got lots to back up everything that I say. I'm not a liar, I'm not a criminal, but justice is really, really important to me. But I see that I'm very much on my own here, and against the weight of the police and a big financial organisation, which is the bank that gave me the wrong advice initially and lost me £300,000. That was the start of it, but it's all got much worse since then.